At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business trainer, author of Food Truck 101, Beginner to Winner, and the forthcoming book, Food Truck 201, Get Off the Truck. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Today, I'm going to talk about the word you guys know I hate, and that's called a minimum. And all that means to me is that the business owner has zero faith in their own food truck being able to generate sales to sustain itself. I am extremely confident in my ability to market my own food truck, and I am extremely confident in my food truck's reputation to bring in people no matter where I decide to park for the day. Give me a free spot and I'm going to make money, period. But there's a whole bunch of people that aren't that confident. So let's say you're going to travel to a place that's far enough away from your loyal guests that they're not going to drive to see you, or they'll wait until you're back home. So how do you broach the subject of getting a minimum and then figure out one that's going to cover your business? Well, I talk about break-even point all the time. That's the sales point where your business profit starts. Break-even is determined by adding all your fixed costs and then dividing that number by 1 minus whatever your variable cost percentages are. The resulting number is the sales level where all the bills are paid, and the food it took to reach that sales level has been paid for as well. This is a common business formula. It's not a secret. You can look it up on Google. You can look it up anywhere you want. Just look up break-even point and they'll show you the formula. I've even done videos on it on YouTube, and I've done videos on my Facebook group all about break-even point. And in your break-even point, you can include your own salary. So that way you can go home from any event knowing you made money for your family. So it's simple. Once you know the annual break-even point, then all you got to do is divide that down into the number of days you plan on working. And then that number, whatever it is, becomes your minimum. You should never, ever leave your driveway unless you want 100% sure that day is going to generate at least your break-even point. Think of it this way. If your food costs are $300 a day and you only made $300 in sales, all is good, right? Okay. No. If you've been paying attention to me at all, no, things are not right. In order to generate $300 in sales, your business is using out of your variable cost items. And that would be like the food you're selling. So if your fixed costs are $300 and your variable costs are 33%, and that would include things like your food cost, the paper cost, the marketing, the repair and maintenance, cleaning supplies, office supplies, all those kind of things that only are consumed as your business operates. Because like if you're closed tomorrow, you're not buying food, you're not using cleaning supplies, you're not having to repair or maintain something because it's not being used. So those are variable costs. They only vary when you are in operation, and they vary as a percentage. So when you do the math on that, that takes that 300 divided by 1 minus 0.33, which leaves 0.67. So we take 300 divided by 0.67, and that means your break-even point is $447. So once you leave your driveway, you need to make at least $447 or you are taking a loss. Therefore, your minimum must be $447. Now let's take it one step further so you understand your own number. If your average check is $15 per guest, you will need 30 people to eat with you to achieve $447 in sales. That's 30 people. Will the new site generate 30 people coming to your business? So if you're looking, let's say, at a brewery. Breweries seem to be really, really popular with people right now. So let's say the brewery seats 100 people. Between the bar and the tables, they got 100 people. That sounds like a no-brainer, right? You only need 30 and they seat 100. How can you possibly not make money? But what if the brewery actually can only handle 50 people before their service gets too slow and people say, nah, I'm not stopping here? Because 100 seats is not 100 people. 100 seats is 100 opportunities. So let's say that only 50 people come. So their reputation, the brewery's reputation, keeps the crowd small. Might have 100 seats, but only 50 people come a night. So out of those 50, some of them aren't going to like your food. Doesn't matter what your food is. They're just not going to eat it. Okay, so you've lost some out of that 50. Others out of that 50, they came to drink. They're not going to eat. So doesn't matter what food truck is there. They were never going to eat in the first place. And then another group out of that 50, they ate before they went to the brewery, or they're going to eat when they get home. They're just stopping for a drink. So there's another section out of that 50 that have no intention of eating with you or any other food truck that's parked there. So you're left with a small portion of the brewery's total seating capacity that's going to eat your food. If your loyal guests are too far away to actually chase you down, it's time to either decline the invitation because, man, that's just not enough people, or require a minimum. So when someone says, hey dude, can you come set up at my business? I think it's a great location, and you know your own guest pool will never travel that far, then you should answer with, I've got a minimum sales requirement to leave my normal area. That amount is $450. Will you guarantee that I will achieve that level? And that's all you got to say. Nice and quick and easy conversation. Because you already know what the number is. You know exactly what you need. You should never put off somebody by saying, well, I need to figure that out. I know exactly how much I need. I need $450. Can you guarantee that? And then when they say, yeah, I can guarantee you'll get it, then you're going to pin them down. Will you be paying me $450 before I show up or at the end of the night? And then you can talk about how that number is negotiated and how it's going to be paid. But at least you're putting across to that business owner that they got a little bit of skin in the game too. They need to help make sure you achieve that number. Think about it. Do you understand how bad that sounds, that whole conversation? That's why I hate minimums. But there are way too many people with very little business sense that will agree to a minimum. So if you need a minimum, ask for one if you need that crutch. Because I can assure you there's a lot of people that will agree to it and they don't understand what they're agreeing to. I don't like sharing my sales with strangers. And when I ask a minimum, I am divulging what it takes for me to make a profit. That's what a minimum means. I need this amount of money to show a profit, to pay all my bills, to pay my employees. There's no other way of saying a minimum. Because why would you set a minimum that's less than what your profitability mark would be? That would make you a very poor business person. If your minimum really is that $450 and you say, I'll do it for 200 minimum, and you only hit 200, you're in the hole. Remember I said your fixed cost was 300. So now you're $100 down, let alone having to pay for all the labor and everything else. So when you share a minimum, I need this amount of money, I got to have this amount of money, you are divulging your profit and loss statement. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Here's what else you haven't considered. Let's say that your friend says, yeah, not a problem, I'll guarantee that $450. You come out and you make way more than $450. So you're either giving him back the $450 that he agreed to at the beginning, or you're saying, hey, I don't need to bill you. I did way more than $450. So that business person, remember, he's not under any kind of NDA or gag rule. He's going to be talking about you the next time he talks to another food truck. Yeah, this other food truck came out and they did great. They had a $450 minimum. They blew that away. So now your sales have just been told to one of your competitors. Or what about the other side of that coin? You didn't make the $450 and you say, I'm sorry, you're going to have to give me $125 because I only did $325 in sales. So when that business owner talks to that next new food truck and says, hey, they only did $325. I know you can do better. You got better food. Do you really want your competition knowing how well you did or how bad you did? Because it's going to happen. Either way, the business owner is going to say that last food truck did great. They did way over $450 because I didn't have to meet their minimum. Or they're going to say, I know you can beat that $450. Your food, your service is so much better. I mean, is that a conversation you even want your name involved with? But here it is. A minimum has to be your break-even point if the spot is questionable on generating that amount. And if the spot is questionable on generating that amount, why are you even considering it in the first place? Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because you know I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.